Thank you for such a warm, sweet, and glorified welcome. I don't think so. I've been ever introduced so sweetly, like Brahmacharni Jyoti has done. We'll start with a short invocation and then get straight into the subject matter, which is very, very important for each and every one of us. And that is the enigma of peace. Please sit straight, close your eyes gently. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurme Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Saksha Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. In fact, all invocations are called as Shanti Path, and Shanti means peace. To invoke peace are all these prayers, chants, etc. I'm sure you must have been quite intrigued that what is Swamiji taking a TV show called Mystery Series? Yeah. Actually, it was just a rough title for all these topics and became so popular that everybody started calling the Mystery Series talks. But it's quite appropriate also because many things that we seek in our lives, in fact, everybody wants it, everybody desires it, everybody strives for it also, means works for it also. Now, if there's be something that everybody wants, for example, in your house, if you want a television or your wife wants a bigger refrigerator, and if nobody else wants in the house, there will be opposition, is it not? There will be opposition. But everybody wants in the house. Everybody is ready to make sacrifices and work towards it. And if there be anything that everybody wants, everybody works for it, is there anything impossible? When we wanted to reach the moon and the whole world cooperated for it, we did, is it not? Then some people started wondering, why waste money? Yeah. And for how many years many of this work was stalled. Now there is something that we all commonly want, we commonly desire. We are all from the womb to the tomb working for. Means from the time we are born, beyond that we don't know. But till we die, we are working for, even in your deathbed you want it. You don't give up. Deathbed, at least you will not want pizza. Yeah? But you want it. The world has struggled for it over millenniums. And yet, hardly anyone knows the mystery of it. Yeah? And there are many such things in our life, and of course they are interrelated also. So even though we've taken this as separate topics for the benefit of everybody to register in their mind, what are the key practices or key change of our mindsets that will give us what we all unanimously desire and wish for everyone. Even presently, with all these wars that are happening, everybody is talking about peace, 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 peace. And those who talk about peace also go outside and create riots. Is there anyone here who doesn't want peace? Do you think anywhere in this world there is anyone, even those who create war, don't want peace? In your personal life, you want peace. In your family, you definitely need peace. Yeah? In this world also. And every time they have a peace conference, they make one more piece of the world. Yeah? So everybody is talking about peace, peace, peace. And our great thinkers, philosophers, not only from the world, from India, but from the world. But India has been a land of such philosophers. Yeah. We respect them as saints, sages. And they have dwelled in these mysteries. Not post-mortem, but here and now. But why it remains as an enigma, a puzzle, that we are not able to solve? Why does it remain difficult and challenging? That even though we hear about it, but we cannot find it. These topics of peace, love, happiness, meditation, God, these are common questions that arise in our mind, but we just settle down for some belief and hope that things will happen. But very few people make it happen. We hear promises also, whether they are spiritual leaders, religious leaders, we have political leaders. We hear all promises. But until and unless we take charge of our own life, we ourselves decide to make that change and to lift ourselves up. In these sessions, these 5 topics we will take, but we will also, those universal, timeless messages that are there in the works of all great philosophers past, also even sometimes present. But 5 very pertinent messages from the Bhagavad Gita. And don't brush it at somebody's religious books. These are books that discuss our life. Yeah? They may come in any language. And the first message of the Bhagavad Gita, not necessarily in chapter order, but in the chapter of meditation, where it is said, and it'd be so nice that if everybody just memorizes these 5 verses each day, we'll take one verse that relates to the subject. Of course, they are also interlinked. Also for these subjects, which was also a great reflection for me when I started taking life management techniques, when I started taking mystery series, it was so important, especially when I was addressing the youth, that when we take the profound knowledge of these books, these scriptures, and because they are speaking about the truth, and all this relates with us, very often their gems on various topics are there in most of those books, but scattered around, and very often we are not able to crystallize in our mind what do we need for peace, what do we need for happiness. Yeah? And therefore chose these topics, and especially for the 10th anniversary of our Chinmaya Niketan. Yeah? To gather these gems and bring it together. At the same time, in this 50th year of Chinmaya Yuva Kendra Youth Group, as well as 75th year of Chinmaya Mission, where Pujya Gurudev dedicated each day of his life to spread this knowledge of Vedanta, which is the science of self-knowledge, science of self-development, and the science that teaches us universal love and peace. And those who ventured into it are the only ones who have stood on the mountain tops and declared that they have attained it. Whether it's a Shankaracharya or a Buddha, whether it's a Guru Nanak Sahib, Kabir, or Tukaram. Whether it is Kamban, all these people who dwelt into it, whether it's a Ramana Maharishi or Sri Ramakrishna Paramhamsa. So much so that not only they were so peaceful themselves, that they radiated that peace, that people who merely went into their presence felt that peace. And we've had that experience of being in the presence of Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda. Even though a very dynamic personality, whose impact, the moment he walked in and he spoke, the very force of his voice. And yet, in midst of that, none of us could deny that even in the most dynamic work that he engaged us in, there was always that underlining peace that we all felt, that drove us to do more and find that peace more and more. Now, from childhood we keep hearing these statements also, oh, peace and happiness is within you. Yet we can't stop searching for it outside. Nowadays, if you want peace, and then their life is going to pieces. So people have tried so many methods for peace, Some they might get temporary also. But what does that means by which we get permanent, everlasting peace, happiness, love? That is the secret that has been revealed in these books of knowledge. So first thing is, you have to will it and take it up seriously, because our minds get so distracted. We think that we'll have more wealth, we will have peace. Then why do we do it? We'll have more degrees, we will have peace. Yeah. We don't even ask ourselves, why are we doing what we are doing? No? If we have to even gain it, you have to get up and come here, is it not? Those who have come here will find a solution. Those who just register and did not even come, what will they find? Yeah? No, I was peacefully sitting at home. Yeah? Till the spouse keeps on screaming and shouting and the children shouting, and you say, oh, I want to go to an ashram now. Yeah? Therefore, Bhagavad Gita's first message, most inspiring, is, you can repeat after me, and every day they will chant it also, so that you can learn these 5 verses. Uddhared atmanatmanam, natmanam avasadayet, Atmaiva yatmano bandhu, Atmaiva ripuratmanaha, Uddharet atmanatmanam. First thing is, you must have the desire to lift yourself by yourself. And you've heard this statement also, that God helps those who help themselves. We know all these statements from childhood. But don't say that Swamiji said the same thing that I already know. We know all these statements from childhood. But do we take that message clearly and understand it and live our life in such a way that even God would come chasing, that here's a person I need to give more so that he can do more of my work. Is it not? So, uddhared atmanatmanam. Lift yourself by yourself. Now, if I even speak about the psychology, now people fall under depression. For many reasons it comes, and let's consider it as a blessing that you have not fallen into it. No? And may you never. But people hit rock bottom. No? And sometimes they come to me in that condition that, what, there's no need for life. I said, now you hit rock bottom, you can't go further down, can you? You've tried your best to fall, right? And hit the rock bottom. Now there's only one way up. Yeah? You try to lift yourself, then see what happens. No? So lift yourself by yourself. You have to make the will. You have to desire it. You need to take it up seriously. Yeah? That we want it, but we are just waiting for it to happen. Yeah. What have we really done? And if we continue to do what we were doing, we'll continue to get what we were getting. Yeah? So this quandary of peace, this enigma of peace, everybody is searching for it. Therefore Krishna says in the chapter of meditation where it speaks about peace, lift yourself by yourself. Second line, na atmanam avasadayet. Having lifted yourself, don't be like a seesaw. Go down, then lift yourself. Then go down, then maximum you will come back to where you were. Yeah? It's like that. You come for these discourses also, feel very inspired, hopefully. Yeah? And then you say, Swamiji, I came, I feel so inspired, I know I can do it. But after you all go, we are back to normal. They even ask us, what were you, Swamiji, when you were normal? What were you when you were normal? Really think, how abnormal are we? No? So, lift yourself by yourself. And having lifted yourself, na atmanam avasadayet. Don't allow yourself to fall down again. So that each time you put in effort, you can grow higher and higher. Now this is the foundation of all our 5 days talks. In love, grow higher. And having grown higher, don't fall down again, Falling in love. That's why it's called falling in love. Yeah? Having risen in love, now don't fall in love. I'll remind you that tomorrow also, Very important topic. See that every family member is there. Yeah? So lift yourself by yourself. Don't allow yourself to fall down again. But there is another greater significance. It's only when you have those who have got deep insight like Gurudev that you get to understand the deeper meaning of these words. Not just the translation. Even the translation is right. Na atmanam avasadayet. The richness of this philosophical language, Sanskrit. Yeah? It doesn't lead to different interpretations, but gives you many facets of that meaning. Na atmanam avasadayet. Do not look down upon yourself. Do not underestimate yourself. Do not consider that you have got no hope. Na atmanam avasadayet. Don't get into this mode of self-condemnation. Now there's an extreme. Don't condemn yourself. Just praise yourself. You're not talking about that kind of superficial, no? Don't underestimate yourself. No? Most of the time, why are we miserable, agitated? Because peace and happiness are not two different things. They are very much correlated. Yeah? When your mind is agitated, you cannot be happy. Yeah? When you're happy, your mind is at peace. No? Now, our minds, and I'm going to give you simple things to practice, not difficult. If I say spend half an hour breathing, some of you got asthma, you can't do that also, Yeah. Do half an hour of asanas, or if my back doesn't move at all, yeah. Or there's no space, everything is filled up with furniture. Do puja. Puja, I don't know these mantras also. I'm not a ritualist, Yeah. So, simple things. And one thing I will tell you. Nobody says that I'm done. In front of others, everybody. I'm great. Even a person like Gandhiji, when he was asked to join the freedom movement in India, looking back at his past failures, looking at the mighty task in front of him, even he said, that it's an impossible thing. Yeah? And if you think it is impossible, it is impossible. Now, I would like you to do, and I'm giving you these, what I do, and These that we do in some of the workshops for CEOs, etc., who have hit a plateau. Make It Happen was designed for them, not for starters alone. No? I would like each one of you in these next few days, do these simple exercises. It will make a lot of difference to you. Will you do it? Yes. Okay. Just note down how many times you use the word I can't. You go back home and they say, do the dishes, I can't. Don't justify, just note that you said you can't. Yeah. Whenever you are given big responsibility, you can't. Yeah. You may say, come every day. I can't. Yeah. Just note how many times, not for what reason, justification. See how often you use the word I can't. You'll be surprised. You'll do it? Yes. In fact, the way you bring up your children and the way even you were brought up. Yeah? Most of our upbringing and our education teaches us what we can't do rather than how we should do it. Don't cross the street alone. You can't. Rather than how to cross the street. Therefore, this word I can't becomes such a strong word. And always remember, you're pretty much right. Not pretty much right, you're always right. Yeah? So if you think you can't, you won't. If you think you can, at least you will try. No? Now see the quandary that happens. That when you think you can't, but you still want. Conflict, where there is conflict, there is no peace. I'm getting into some practical aspects of it. Yeah? When there is conflict, there is no peace. Krishna says, na atmanam avasadayet. Therefore, first, put your effort to reach your goal. Whether it's peace, whether it's happiness, whether it is material goals that you want, family goals that you want, put your mind, apply your mind to reach your goal. Yeah? Don't give up by underestimating yourself. You have been equipped with everything that you require to fulfill your destiny. But we keep complaining about what we don't have or what we think we don't have, rather than being grateful for what we have. Listen to the life of all, whether it was the chai wala in India or the newspaper wala in North America. With whatever they had, they built themselves. One became the richest man in the country, the other became the prime minister of a country. Yeah? I don't have education. I'm good for nothing. Yeah? The moment you are not grateful or account what you have, you will start thinking about what you don't have. You desire what you don't have, and then don't make use of what you have. Therefore, how beautiful Krishna says, na atmanam avasadayet. Don't underestimate Don't look down upon yourself. Yeah? Atmaiva hi atmano bandhu. You yourself are your best friend. Atmaiva ripuratmanaha. You yourself are your deadliest enemy. Yeah? And goes to say, one who has mastered his or her mind, that person is one's own best friend, or that mind is that person's best friend. That mind that makes you dance to its whims and fancies, moods, etc., is your deadliest enemy. And therefore, if you master your mind, not only you have peace of mind, but also there is nothing in this world that you cannot achieve. Therefore, Guru Nanak Sahib has said, Man jeete, jag jeet. Yeah? One who has conquered his or her mind has conquered the world. Not like an Alexander, yeah? Not like the Mughals, not like Hitler, plundering, killing people, conquering the world. Yeah? That is not what. Which means that in no life situations can defeat them. They are not a victim of situations, but they are master of circumstances. Huh? In life, there will be a lot of changes. Yeah? Some that come from the cosmic forces, like presently you're seeing most places, such tremendous floods. Huh? Seems completely not under your control. But when frequently some things happen, why don't we take control of that before only? Whose fault is it? No? But something sudden, we cannot. But in that moment, to have that presence of mind, what to do? No? Is so important that we can escape from calamities that even come from cosmic forces. We get disturbances from nearby forces, just like somebody drops something, just like a mobile phone rings, yeah, your neighbor is honking away, yeah. The person who's sitting beside you sneezes right into you, yeah. And with that tissue in the hand touches you, and you didn't bring your sanitizer, no. So we have from nearby sources, and then what to talk about inside you, yeah. Body sitting for 1 hour, yeah. Mind, to God knows when that terrorist attack will happen. Suddenly remember, oh my God, I left the washing machine on continuous drive. Yeah? Something or the other, So from Adi Bhautik forces and internally also Adhyatmic. So these are 3 types of disturbances that come to us. But when our minds are not strong, alert and vigilant, then such minds are not able to respond rightly during these constant changes in life. Everything will constantly change. But how do we encounter that change? We have to have the calmness and presence of mind. Now, our rishis have pointed out many, many techniques of even temporary calming the mind. And they are available today, plenty, breathing techniques, pranayama, kriyas, etc. they're all helpful to temporarily calm the mind. But until and unless you get to the cause, all treatments are symptomatic. And sometimes you might require an emergency symptomatic treatment. But after the symptomatic treatment, if you do not get to the cause of your illness, then it will reappear. And suppressed symptoms, the disease is not gone, it will express through some other way. This is the tragedy of modern medicine. Yeah? Somebody's got cancer, cut off a limb. But the cause of the cancer is not removed. The cause of the cancer is not the tumor. You get the point? It will appear somewhere else. So, even if we use temporary methods which are given for emergencies, for startups, etc., or for starting, which are all very good and helpful, but they're not the end of it. Therefore, in these sessions, we will mention these also, that you can very well, in certain situation, follow. One of the things that our rishis discovered is that when the mind is disturbed, and many factors, it gets disturbed. To calm the mind, they taught so many different techniques, so many, not just one breathing. But between the breath and the mind, there is a link. As you know, when you're very excited, how is your breathing? Yeah. When you're angry, you've got dragon breath. Yeah? When you're excited, you've got dog breath. Yeah? See, it is from nature we can learn. No? So, they devise methods of breathing by which you can calm your mind down or even excite your mind. That you can calm your mind down temporarily so that then you can use your mind for dwelling into what is the cause of your disease. Now, many of you will not even recognize how many times in your mind you've used the word I can't. Whether in office, whether in house, whether in class here also. So sometimes it's helpful just to tell someone that whenever I use the word I can't, just alert me. Of course, then you will not use the word I can't. This is not my job. Yeah? This is difficult. Just notice, but in your mind you're very clear what words you use. So what we will do is mention some of these simple methods, and one of the best method, even if you do not know or go and take some, courses, etc., and which you cannot necessarily always practice, and certain pranayama may not be suitable for everybody. But a simple thing you can do, and because it's simple, it's the most effective, the most natural. And because it is so simple, I can't even charge you for it. Yeah? But then the best things in life, mother comes free, father comes free, guru comes free, air comes free. Yeah? But we take it for granted. Na atmanam avasadayet. If you don't take for granted what you have, you will not take people for granted, nor will you look down on people. I'm telling you, when we come to the topic of love, Those who have understood even this, if you stop looking down upon yourself, you will never look down on others. Do you know how much your relationships are going to improve? As I said, they are interlinked with each other. And when your relationships outside are good, how much more peace you will have, you tell me? Most of our mind's disturbances are not even for money, etc. It is mainly for the people around us. Is it not? Therefore, tomorrow's topic is so important on love. The maximum pain, agitation, sorrows, worries, anxieties are for people whom we love. And if love is going to be so painful, who wants it? Yeah. Therefore, we find some escapisms called as love, not really the glory and beauty of love. So please check how many times you say, I can't. Focus on how you can do it. There are techniques by which you calm your mind. There are chants with which you can quieten your mind, mantras that you can quieten your mind. We'll take that all in the topic of meditation, but I'm listing it here as a complete topic, right? But without knowledge, without looking into the cause, they will give you some relief, but they give you temporary relief. That's why people also who do chanting, prayers. You think you can't get peace at that time? You will get peace. Yeah, even if you do pranayama, you will get peace. But the simple pranayama I'm telling you, which we'll practice also towards the end of the session, and that is just sit for 5, maximum 10 minutes every day. Start with, I'm so used to this pranayama, that pranayama. Yeah. For the next 5 days, 4 days, leave that aside. Do it afterwards. Nobody says it's wrong or whatever. Right? Just practice every day 5 minutes sitting and just watching your breath. Doable? Just watching. First you will get bored, first then your mind will say no, but just sit there and watch your breath. This one method, you can bring your mind to a standstill. Yeah? Now many of us have not practiced it necessarily for good health, but I found a woman who was not very bright. Later on now she studies Vedanta so deeply, but when she came, she just heard in one of our Chinmaya session about this technique. Yeah? No fancy technique of breathing, etc. They say, you don't teach meditation. In the discourse it was mentioned. She couldn't understand anything much, but she practiced it. Her mind became calm, her cancer was gone. I've written a small booklet called Journey into Health, which was talked to cancer patient. I think it should be there at the bookstall. But how about understanding how the mind has effect on your body? Now my topic is not going to cover all these. I'm just hinting it to you so that if you require it, but once you have that peace of mind, a lot of things can be again, everything, life is a whole. It is not compartments. Love is something else and peace is something else. And then if you want peace, you need love. Right? So just practice this, and that is just watch. Don't change your breath. Whatever needs to be corrected, it will automatically correct itself. Whole pranayama is to eventually have a natural breathing process. It is so natural that you will not find it difficult to practice. And again, if it's very simple, the only difficulty is you get easily bored. But I'm telling you, just watch your breath and you'll realize how shallow your breathing is. Suddenly you might even find yourself, and I don't want to tell because everybody will not have the same experience. You'll be gasping for air. Because you'll realize it how much short. But just watch. naturally your breathing would correct itself. And when your breathing is harmonized, the mind, the prana and the mind are interlinked. It will calm your mind. When the mind is calm, its real intelligence rises, and the height of human intelligence is self-discovery. Not just laws of nature, but self-discovery. You will start recognizing how your body functions, how your mind functions. But you have to get to that point. Some of you may have that. But you have to get to that point. Therefore, start with this. First of all, you check how many times you say the word, I can't. And when you say the word, I can't, see the condition of your mind. Is it joyful? Is it enthusiastic? Is it motivated? You like that atmosphere of your mind? Just watch these things. Therefore, learn to watch your breath. You will learn to watch your mind. So, two practical, which you can practice right away. Okay. Now to get to the thing about enigma of peace. As I said, everybody is struggling for peace, but nobody is finding peace. And I'll tell you, you are also not going to find it. Swamiji, why did we came? Because the moment you struggle for peace, your peace is already gone. See, this is what you call enigma. The moment you struggle for peace, your peace is gone. In one of the highest philosophical books, called as Ashtavakra Gita, which is a dialogue between two enlightened master, or one, you can say, almost realized master. Ashtavakra and King Janak. And there is a beautiful shloka that gives you this enigma. It says, Aprayatnat prayatnadva mudho napnoti nirvriti. That an ignorant person does not get peace either by struggling doing or by not doing. And therefore you hear this cliche nowadays, stop doing, start being. Yeah, we heard that. Not wrong. Nothing I'm saying that is wrong. But you say how? Yeah. By not doing anything, you are not going to get peace. By doing also, you are not going to get peace. Yeah. Then how will you get peace? The Rishi says, Tattva nishchaya matrena pragyo bhavati nirvritaha. The ignorant, by doing or not doing, doing or undoing, does not get peace. But the wise one, by just coming to discover the truth, the reality, does not only attain peace, but becomes an embodiment of peace. I saw a beautiful letter between Pujya Gurudev and Param Gurudev Swami Tapovanji Maharaj. In his youthful days, when Pujya Gurudev was traveling, he came across the ashram of Ramana Maharishi and he went there. In Ramana ashram also they say what Ramana Maharishi had said about that young man who came there and went from there. So there is also mention of there. But he wrote, and I've seen that letter, where Gurudev writes to his Guru Tapovanji Maharaj that in such master's presence you feel such peace, why don't these enlightened masters, like teach or, go out and do something? The Punji Maharaj writes that truth is peace itself. Shantam, Shivam, Sundaram. And those who have discovered the truth, they not only become silent, they become silence themselves. They become peace themselves. Can you imagine that level of peace which is only there in discovering yourself? But to discover that self, you need peace of mind. And all sadhanas are about creating this peace of mind. Now, how do we create this mind peace? If you say, do something, if it is some place or something, you are only struggling. Meditation also for most people is struggling only. So by doing something, you can't get peace. That's, I think, we can understand. If you say, I will not do anything and just sit down and do nothing, they are the ones who are in complete agitation, which is called as depression. In fact, one of these government, as you know, in India all the temples are nationalized, So one of these collectors was going to collect the money from the hundi and saw one man sitting at the pillar, and every time he went, he was there only. So asked the pujari that, does this man live only? He said, he always sits here only, doesn't trouble anybody. Why are people going and giving some prasad from the temple for him to eat? This useless fellow sitting there. This is not a public shelter for the homeless. So they said, Baba, everybody thinks he's a great Mahatma. We don't disturb him, nor does he disturb anybody. He's just sitting there. What's your problem? Most of the temples are empty anyway. Churches also, all the places of worship generally are empty throughout the week. So why are you getting troubled? Let him sit peacefully. This man got restless, went up to him and told him, what are you doing here? So he said, what are you doing here? He said, you sit down and see. So he sat down. So he looked at him. This man was just, his eyes closed. He was just sitting. So he kept on looking at him. Then he said, okay, let me close my eyes and see what happens. He closed his eyes. Now the restless man like this, by not doing anything, he got even more restless. What is this? I'm wasting my time. Then one eye opened. Who came? How much money did he put inside there in the box? Finally he got up, did namaskar, because even to sit doing nothing is more difficult than doing something. Therefore, when you got nothing to do, what do? Shake your legs. Click your pen. Nowadays, of course, you have got the best friend in your hand. You have to do something. How will you have peace? Then there's a beautiful verse in the Bhagavad Gita, which says exactly like this. So Ashtavakra Gita says very beautifully that Tattva Nishchaya Matrena. Now why is it that we are not finding peace? We are struggling for peace. But before you came into this hall, before anybody was in this hall, what was there? Peace, is it not? It was already there. Then came all of them arranging the chair. Then you came, hi, how are you? Yours here also. Acha, I didn't know you were. So then you intermingled with each other, and then they told you come in the front and sit, and then all that chaos that was going on. Then came the announcements and all that, and then the Swami came in. Then again everybody got up, and all the disturbance, etc., going on, and then they say, switch off your mobile phones. Now, it's not the person's fault. They probably were not there when the announcement was given, So then tomorrow come on time. Yeah. Then, so all that noise that took place, no? Now if I tell you right now, let us all together clap. Stop! Noise is disturbance in peace. You stop the noise, peace is already there. Did you create the peace? No. Peace is already there. The fact that you can listen to me also, underlining there is peace. So, peace has to be discovered, not created. Therefore, what we have to stop, that's why by not doing, also you will not get peace. Because something else is active. By doing also, you will not get peace. Then what should you do to get peace? This is the enigma. Yeah? Stop doing, start being. Yeah? How will you do that? Bhagavad Gita points out 4 causes for which our mind gets disturbed. There's a beautiful verse about an enlightened person, Sthita Pragya, one who's got firmly rooted in the knowledge that peace is my nature, not in just word saying. And how has he got rooted in that? Shri Krishna says, Vihaya kamanya sarvan Pumans charati nispraha Nirmamo nirahankara Sashantim adhigacchati. The word adhigacchati, one meaning is firmly attains, other meaning is discovers. Gamgach. Just to give you a little idea of the beauty of Sanskrit language. Now, such a person, we may say, attains peace, but discovers peace or becomes peace, who Vihaya kamanya sarvan. Whosoever. The common pronoun is only found in Sanskrit. You all are now at the moment very confused between he, she, it, they, whatever it may be. Yeah. In Sanskrit there is one pronoun, yah. Yeah. It can relate to whosoever. Yah, it's not said a man or a woman. It's not said a particular race or Yah, whosoever. Sarvan kaman vihaya. Who has been able to leave aside all desires. All. Somebody comes, Swamiji, ever since I listened to your discourse last time and you had joked about pizza, I have decided I gave up pizza, Swamiji. Or I have become, now I've become No, it's not even vegetarian, plant-based, vegan, okay, whatever. No, I'm no longer, carnivorous. No, it's not even meat. No, carnivorous. I have become herbivorous. Yeah. So, great. Somebody says, I've given up pizza, but Swamiji, I'm eating tacos nowadays. Vihaya kamanya sarvan. Now you see, first let us get into, as I said, I've given the simple practices, now let's get to the root of it. And in the following days you will also, besides today, you will see how it is possible. It will lead you to the next topic, of happiness, etc. So, you are sitting peacefully, right? You are quite relatively peaceful, right? Yeah. And I mentioned the word pizza. I mentioned the word tacos. Now you heard that. Now some will say, I don't like that at all. Why Swamiji is talking about pizzas and tacos? Mind agitated? Or the other is, mind goes, I hope, in the food boxes, they don't have the typical 3 types of rices and call it a meal. Yeah. Depends who makes those boxes, okay? Yeah, but don't worry, there will be different varieties. Today you might get 2 types of rices, which one of the boxes is guaranteed for sure, right? But hope they will, probably give, something non-Indian. So, what non-Indian? Yeah, we've got, everything. What is your nachos? Sev puri. Yeah. So anyway, we will get the Indian version of. But you can get food. Now we're talking sev puri, talking about all this. Mind goes, nacho nacho, nacho nacho, nacho nacho, nacho nacho, and nacho nacho in Indian language, you know what it means, right? The mind starts dancing, nacho nacho, nacho nacho, nacho nacho, mere nandalala. No, it goes nacho nacho, nacho nacho, nacho nacho, nacho nacho, nacho nacho, nacho nacho. Now once the desire has come into your mind, what happens? Before that there was no nacho desire. Yeah? Now that desire came in your mind. Now, unfortunately, I give these example of food in middle of my talk, and then, of course, I lose people's. Maybe I get the attention because finally they say, "Yeah, now this makes sense." Okay, at least they're talking about food. So, nacho nacho. Once the desire comes into your mind, does not your mind want it? It's restless till you get it. Yeah, struggles to get it. Does it happen or not? So when a desire arises in the mind, it creates agitation. In the secret of happiness, we'll explain what is it that you call as happiness. I must leave you on some cliffhangers, no? Yeah? Desire to know more. It's a good desire. But when the desire is there, your mind gets agitated. Till you get the object of your desire, or you can put that desire to rest. Till then, your mind will be disturbed or not. And we don't have got one desire for nacho. Yeah? Nacho, handbags, cars. One desire goes, another is popping up continuously. Can the mind be at rest? Then you do breathing. For peace of mind. So that I generate the wealth to buy myself a luxurious car. Peace of mind. So nacho. Huh? That desire, when it rises, it causes. Now you may give up one desire, but other desires are waiting. You may even fulfill that desire, it multiplies. Is there an end to it? Tell me. Therefore, the agitation of our mind is because of desire. Now, two things in the beginning of the class I mentioned, no? One is, if you think you can't, eventually you can't even fulfill your desires. No? So your mind will be agitated. Is it not? So, number one, that your mind will be agitated because you can't. And if you start struggling to get it, your mind is again agitated, but you have no other choice. And when you get it, temporarily your mind gets quiet. But in the process, fear, anxiety, fear of failure, fear of not getting, how many agitations, not just I want. On one side, I can't get it, so fear and anxiety, frustration, etc. Therefore, tomorrow's session, which is very important, and the words that I will be also taking, no? All these, if you think, what are you going to do to keep this mind peaceful? That's why it is said, desire is not your friend. Yeah? Desire is your looter of your peace. And why does desire rise? I said, na atmanam avasadayet. When we don't value what we have, even what we have we desire. Your spouse cooks food in the house so good, but you still want to go to a restaurant. And then you eat in the restaurant, pay the bill, and then come back and say, it was not even as good as the house food. Which means it was as bad as the house food. We are not grateful for what we have, and therefore we look down upon what we have, and therefore we desire what we think we don't have. And very often what you desire you already have. So two things I said in the beginning. Check how many times you say I can't, and be appreciative of what you are and what you have. Yeah. To say give up desire, try giving up. But you do these two, and you'll begin to realize that so many of those desires you actually have. Yeah. Why are you living up to the Jones? Yeah, we're not any happier than you are. Remember these things. Actually, the solutions are very simple. Now you say, give up all desires. Oh, we will say, how is it possible? But you do these two things. Check, I can't. Check what you have. And don't look down upon that. These two things you do, your desires will be very much under control. Then you can go into, as we go further, to inquire, do you need any desire at all? No? But for the time being, you're not even the thought of giving up all desire. Swamiji, I can give up every desire, but my desire that my child comes first in school, and I can't give that up. Nobody's telling you to give that up. But if you're appreciative of what your child can do besides getting first rank, you won't insist on first rank. No? These are simple things to be practiced, and they come from the very depths of philosophy. No? Then, Pumams charati nispraha. A person moves around doing one's daily work or duties, but without spraha. Spraha, sticking, attachment. Now, the moment you say the word attachment, impossible to give up. Because we confuse two opposites, love and attachment. And tomorrow you will see a clear distinction between the two. Where has it ever been said, give up love? In fact, every scripture, every, leader has been screaming love, 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 love. Huh? If attachment was love, then why give up attachment? Tomorrow we'll see a clear distinction between the two. Attachment is our clinging dependence on something for our survival or our happiness. The other thing is, what we are attached to, we call it as my. And what is mine, I'm attached to. Suppose this glass was mine and a nice drink other than water was there in it. Yeah? And if accidentally in the small table, my hand hit it and fell down, I would feel sad. You would be very sympathetic. If you go outside and somebody has banged into your car and you don't even know it was that, you can't even collect insurance, you will be agitated. And your friend will say, oh, some big problem has, thank God you were not in the car. And suddenly that friend finds out that it is not your car. He or she has the same color car, and you accidentally went towards that car thinking it's your car, because you always like somebody else's car. And he finds out it is my car. Now suddenly see the agitation. So what is my, I'm attached to, and both cause agitation. And the other is this, your so-called self-image of I. That's called as ego. I remember once I was coming in the car and there was this, person who diverted the car to take me everywhere to show me this is my building, this is my office, this is my this. And I could see the driver I could see on the mirror smiling away, so I could see that he could understand our language. So when I got down from the car, I told them, in these places drivers are their chauffeurs. So the chauffeurs generally stay outside and they gossip about everything that they heard in the car with the drivers. So they're standing. So I just told him, I said, I see that you understand English, because the discourse was in English. I said, why don't you come? You come and listen. He said, I can come. I said, yeah, this is not meant for sages alone. Whoever can understand can come. It's for everybody. It's for whole humanity. Now, since this man made me almost late and I came on the dot, which I insisted, by the time I came and sat on the seat, all the front seats were over. Filled up. Now he being president of so many other companies and said, I am driving Swami. Normally for these people you keep a seat because they'll come late, not because they are some VVIPs, but because they will be bringing Swamiji and they will be either serving you. Keep a seat for them so that at least they will get a chance. Not because they are VIPs or whatever it is. But he got so offended that because the front seat was filled, now you can't pick up someone and tell. So they made him sit in the second row. Don't they know who I am? You can see that he was completely agitated. And of course, when I went back, I had to hear again what he is. While his driver, his chauffeur, when he walked in and our volunteer youngsters were there, very respectfully, whoever comes, told him that come and sit in the 10th row, there was an empty seat. He felt so honored that I was ushered to my seat because he's not used to that, no? So we have this so-called image of our self. Anybody treats us less or we see anyone more respected, see how the mind gets agitated because of this ego? Ego, you'll want to go to your in-laws' house also. Ego. You hear the name also, in-law. Yeah? Ego. So these are the four sources of the agitations of our mind. If you find any more, we will send a message to Krishna that you missed it out. Yeah? And of course, we should add to it. No? So you should add to it if there's any. If they are not there, find if there's any other cause for your agitation. Therefore, whenever your mind is agitated, check out. Is there a desire? Am I dependent on something attached? Do I claim something as mine, or my ego is bruised? Check these four out. You'll find the cause of your agitation. And whatever the other person may have done, right or wrong, remember, the agitation you suffer is yours. Lift yourself by yourself. Make your choice not to be agitated. Recognize the cause of your agitation and ask yourself, is it worth trading my peace for my grievance, for my blame? For getting something? The moment you become aware of it, you can at least attempt to drop it. So we'll conclude now with that 1 minute meditation, and each day till we reach the topic of meditation, we will prepare you. Just sit straight, close your eyes gently. Just relax yourself as much as you can right now. Teach you also how to relax. And now, all you have to do is, without making any movements, just watch your breathing. No need to breathe in deeply. If it happens naturally, let it. Just watch your breathing. At this moment, don't even judge your breathing. Oh, it's shallow, or it's fast, or... Just watch. Every time the mind gets distracted, focus on your breathing.